Welcome everyone to Angel Heart Radio. I'm your host, Deb Goldberg. And today we are having a ceremony of light to celebrate our day of transformation.
In truth, nothing can dim your magnificence. You are a divine spark, a universal light. You are here on purpose. You are part of a divine plan. And it's our joy to support you. We're here to celebrate you. Welcome to Angel Heart Radio. Powered by love, Angel Heart Radio is brought to you by AngelLight777.com. A divinely ordered life with spiritual teacher Deb Goldberg on Angel Heart Radio starts now.
Oh, welcome everyone to Angel Heart Radio again, to a divinely ordered life. It brings me great pleasure to be here with you today, and it's an honor to serve you in the highest ways that I can by bringing you messages of divine love and blessings for your life. You are dearly loved, cherished, and blessed. What a day we have had today. We are celebrating Enlightened World Network's A Day of Transformation. Own your divine authenticity. And we have with us the founder of Enlightened World Network is Dr. Ruth Anderson and Teri Angel. Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Deb.
You're very welcome. I'm so grateful to be here with the both of you. And it is what I just said. It's an honor to serve and bring forth all of these blessings and messages that we have brought through today from all these wonderful healers that we've had. It has been really an amazing day, and it always is at the end of the day. It is profound. We've all taken something from every healer that came on. And so what this is about today is a recap of our whole day today. And we get to go over the speakers, and then we get to do a ceremony of light where Ruth is going to take us to the healing pool. And it is a beautiful event for all of us, and it's a beautiful way to actually end our day after all that we witnessed today and brought forth. This is an act of love for all of us, isn't it?
It really is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm sure Teri could have come up with some other way to spend 15 hours of her day today.
Well, we can't hear you, Teri. You have your mic off.
Okay. Well, I turned my mic off because the dogs were barking, so I wanted to hear what you were saying. But yes, absolutely, it is a labor of love, and I love spending time with you two ladies and all of the wonderful presenters that were with us today. So, it's been a long day, but it's been a very good day, and I'm very happy to be here.
Filled with so much beautiful energy.
Yes.
I don't know if we want to talk a little bit about owning your divine authenticity before we start. Do you want to share, Ruth?
Yes, I do. So these days, these transformational days are the brainchild of Archangel Michael, first and foremost. And he gives us the topic. He gives us the title, what it's called, like months in advance. And then it's up to us to kind of figure out what it is that we're supposed to be talking about. And he leads us to the people that are supposed to present. So we know that every single person that presented today, and I think there were 20 sessions, 19, 20 sessions, they were all handpicked. And so there was a reason that each of them were there. And if you look at who those speakers were, it was an incredibly diverse group of opinions and beliefs and styles of how they do their light work or how they connect with spirituality. I thought it was kind of fascinating. And the other thing, this morning in meditation before we got started, I heard the words, let everything that isn't love fall away. And that has been my mantra today. So even when we hit technological snags here and there, that was my mantra. And I think that has guided our day today. And so I'm going with that mantra for the rest of the evening as well. Let everything that isn't love fall away. We're just going to enjoy being here together in each other's presence.
I so agree. And I think that was also a theme through a lot of the healing sessions that we had today, is to just let go.
Right.
And allow yourself to be into, just be in your divine self, and to let go of everything else that you think is not. To let go of all the negatives. And there was just one after another. It was the same type of theme throughout the day. And of course, you mentioned that there was a whole range of different speakers. And that is your authenticity.
Right. They were all standing so firmly in
Uh-huh.
their authenticity.
Yeah.
It was
It
great
was,
modeling, really.
I totally agree. I totally agree. I thought it was allowing the diversity of how people practice spirituality and allowing it to be everything.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Because it's unlimited. It's unlimited creation. It's unlimited possibilities because of unlimited imagination, and the gifts that each person brings. They're varied, and it is really beautiful. So I'm very grateful to experience this, to be on uh, both ends of it, actually.
Yeah, absolutely. It really, it was kind of amazing. I shouldn't be surprised at all, but it was so interesting to watch the sessions and how one just flowed into another one. And there was one point where somebody was doing divine healing, and then the very next person was doing a divine healing, and then there was a prayer, and the next person, it was a prayer. So it just really flowed, and we did not plan that. That was totally orchestrated by Michael and by Divine Mother. I just really loved the way the whole day progressed, and everything just went exactly as it was supposed to go.
I totally believe that. Everything's in divine order. And we've been talking a lot about the you being credible is by accepting your authenticity, and your be standing in your authenticity creates credibility. It works both ways. And so what a great demonstration of this. Like you said, role modeling for everyone that was listening and that will still listen, because those videos will keep being heard as time goes on.
Deb, thank you for bringing that up. I've worked with so many light workers that say, I want to put my message out there, but I don't think I'm valid enough to do that. And I keep telling people, all you can talk about is what you've experienced. And who can tell you that you haven't experienced that?
Mm-hmm.
And so when we talk about credibility to be able to share your message, it's vitally important that you accept yourself for who you are and for the experiences that you've had, because that is what gives you that credibility.
I totally believe that. And it is kind of a common feeling to feel like you're not valid, or that you're um, somehow not good enough to be delivering the message you've been given or the gift that you've been given. And that is just something to work through, and one of those constructs to break, and just keep moving forward and knowing, because that what you have to bring is this passion in your heart. What you want to bring is your passion and your purpose. And it is so important to move through those negative feelings or fearful feelings so that you too can stand in your authenticity and bring the light that you need to bring to the world, because you matter and nobody else is going to be you.
Right. You are the only one that can bring your light to the world.
Mm-hmm.
And the world needs everybody to bring their light right now.
Yes, they do. So how about we get started? Because I know Teri has another show after. And it's been a long day, and we really do want to honor all of our speakers. And so I think it would be really good to start. And actually, we started after the opening ceremony. We had a silent individual meditation. And these are always so very powerful. They're so powerful that we do them every Sunday when we're not doing a day of transformation. The three of us do a silent meditation for 30 minutes on Enlightened World Network. And we were lucky enough to have some participants on Zoom with us. We had Linda Lemieux, Susan Ellis Saylor, Ellen Albertson, and Tanya Knoll to help us really share the love and the joy and healing and peace towards individual healing for everyone on the planet, to lift individuals up for whatever they needed. And it is always a very powerful experience.
And I don't know if other people notice, but when they're doing those collective silent meditations, you can actually feel it coming off of the computer screen. I love that part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can feel the energy. It is very, very powerful. And next we had Hema Voss.
Hema Vyas. I adore Hema. Hema comes to us from London. I'm just going to grab my notes because it's been a long day. Let's see. If you have not heard Hema's meditations before, you really should watch it just to calm yourself down, if nothing else. Her voice is so calming. And her meditation was all about clearing and revitalizing the sacral chakra. You know, so many of the chakra clearings going on right now are for the root chakra because of the concerns about health and finances, etc. But she chose purposefully to do the second chakra and to clear that out. So working on clearing of emotions, creativity, connection, sense of belonging, intimacy, and sensuality. Hema has such a beautiful energy. I highly recommend that session for anybody who wants to just calm themselves right down.
It was beautiful. I love the way she described the process. And I loved the orange roses, and it just made everything so visible, like you can smell it. And it was a very visual meditation. She talked a lot about sitting around a fire and letting the fire transform and transmute the flames, transmute all the things that we're trying to burn off, and so that we can have more creativity flow through and a new path to emerge of perspective and possibilities for the future. So it was a lovely meditation, very calming.
Really.
And next we have Chris and Carly Denault.
Yes, I had the pleasure of hosting them. And it was great because I had never met them before, and their energy together is so beautiful. And I was so happy that they were there together because we got both the masculine and the feminine aspect as they worked on our root chakras. uh, Chris played the singing bowl, and Carly actually led us in the meditation for healing the root chakra. This was that started us off for doing working on that chakra for the day. And her voice, it's like an angel speaking when she was sitting there, and all this energy coming from her. You just knew that what you were feeling was divinely inspired as it came through. And she worked on grounding us and worked on bringing that energy up from the root and into the solar plexus and doing the affirmations. I am worthy, and focusing on that sense of safety. I am worthy, going back to that affirmation and really feeling our power. And I just really enjoyed spending that time with them. And I didn't want it to end. I wanted to hear more of the singing bowl, but I wanted to hear also the work that was being done on the root. And I think it was just perfect following Hema's meditation of the sacral that we really went into that kind of grounding afterward. So it was absolutely beautiful. And I hope we have them back again.
Yes, it was a beautiful meditation, and I really liked Carly talking about it being safe to be in your body because I know that lots of people struggle with that, and I have struggled with that over the years. So, um, when you can finally start feeling safe in your body, it is a big deal. And they have been providing meditations a day for us. They're friends of mine from the Keys, so I'm so glad that they were able to be with us today. They did a great job.
They did.
And next we have Chris Kucherin. Oh my God, what a beautiful meditation! What a beautiful meditation! It almost made me cry. Um, the the wisdom that comes out of him and the connection of um, of to God's source, of understanding divine eternal life and joy and peace and flowing abundance, and that we're an instrument of the highest divine will, um, and and that, what did he say, loving gaze of messages from the light to be on me. Like there's always a gaze from divine love. It was it was just an absolutely beautiful meditation. It was very moving.
He
Very.
always, he always brings it. He
Mhm,
always does a beautiful job. So
he did. And today he used some rainbow music that was music made just for rainbow meditations, and it enhanced it. It was very nice. So I really enjoyed listening to the music with that as well. And next we had Daryl D'Souza.
Daryl D'Souza. He is someone near and dear to my heart. Daryl's talk and meditation was on the Dharma, Dharmic thoughts. Daryl came to us from Goa, India. That's where he lives and is very well respected there for what he does. Now, I met Daryl in 2016, and he looks probably 10 years younger now than when I met him. It's just amazing. And he lives what he talks about. He lives eating the correct nutrition, paying attention to how we walk on this earth. And so he shared with us what Dharma is. Dharma is being in resonance with our highest nature and in alignment with our collective duty. And he really went into explaining that and how we do have a duty to take care of these bodies we're in, but also the environment that we're in. And when he talked, it was like you knew that you were being called on the carpet, but in a loving way. And then he shared after he went through all the things that that we have access to, all the things that are in nature that we have access to really be the very best person, the best individual we can in these human bodies. So then he took us into a meditation, and he says, we have everything. We have all the five elements of nature from the time we are born. So we have access to it all. And when he took us in that meditation, he really had us go inward very deep and go to that place where we were asking, am I the best person? Am I the best steward of this body, of my soul here on this earth? And am I doing my collective duty? Am I doing my individual duty? It was very good and very powerful. And as I was listening to him, I had to really think, and are there things in my life that I'm not contributing to uplifting the universe, uplifting this Mother Earth that we are here living on? So it really did take us to that place of, looking at ourselves and looking at the collective also as a whole. I'm so glad he was here with us today. I think he brought a lot to us, a lot of thinking, but also a lot of encouragement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So lovely, lovely meditation too.
Yeah.
So we're going to move on to Susan Kennard.
So Susan joined us from the UK today, and she did a pineal gland clearing and heart center clearing. And it was a Palladian activation. I think that was the first Palladian activation I've ever participated in or knew that that's what I was participating in. She had our guides and angels from the divine light surrounding us, and we were to ask our guides, what do I need to know? And clearly, with everything that's happening around us here on Earth, there's a need to know things in a way that perhaps there wasn't a need to know 2 months ago. And it was really interesting. She had our inner child come forward and share. And she said, "I see a lot of angry inner children here, and that feeling of out of control, because." So many of us, we are having to live locked in, you go outside, you wear a mask, you don't go to dinner anymore. Your kids don't go to school anymore. There's so many ways that we feel like we are not in control right now. So she was working with our angry inner children. And I had a special experience during her meditation where I was taken back to my childhood home. And I was a latchkey child as I was growing up. I don't know if, well, Teri, your home was always full of people, so I can't fathom that was the case for you. But latchkey child, I would come home from school and nobody was there. And I was always afraid in my home. And the meditation took me right back there. And I saw myself afraid in my home. There was one chair I would always sit in the kitchen. It was the safest place. I could see all of the doors from this one chair. And she showed me as I sat in that one chair that there were angels right next to me. And I had no idea until today that all of that pain and fear that I dealt with back then, I really didn't need to. I was protected. I was safe at all times. So I thought Susan Kennard was fabulous today. I personally gained a lot from that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've spent a lot of time with Susan, and she always brings forth a beautiful meditation and activation that I think is pretty powerful. So I enjoyed what she did today as well. And she continues with us on a meditation a day as well that we do daily on Enlightened World Network. And next we have Laura Cheadle, who did a meditation on rewire the brain for lasting joy despite any external circumstances. Oh my, this was hypnosis. And it was a beautiful a beautiful meditation that started out in a meadow of using all your senses to feel and smell and notice everything that was in there. And it was a beautiful meditation where a staircase appeared. And so you were allowed to, through this whole meditation was about getting rid of negativity and staying in your positivity. And that as you went down the staircase, that you notice that shifts kept happening within you, where the worry and the negativity were falling off, and recognizing that there's so much possibility and positivity around you, that you can just let go of the negativity and keep returning back to um, smiling at the negativity and just keep moving forward. So it was just a beautiful meditation. She's done a meditation for us before too. She does a beautiful job, and it really felt like hypnosis. I just didn't want to come back afterwards. I was pretty relaxed. It was beautiful.
Her voice should be in like voiceovers or something. Her
Mm-hmm.
voice is amazing.
Mm-hmm. It is. It truly is. She is. Next, we have Gail and Greg Hogue.
So that was the first of our technological glitches this morning. They couldn't get on Zoom. And so our time with them was very short. However, I want you to know, Gail and Greg Hogue have been working with sacred geometry. They have a business called Metaforms here in Colorado. And I've been to their home and seen this big, I don't know how to describe it, really large geometric shapes that Greg has a welder create for him. And they work with all of these shapes and working with Metatron, working with sacred geometry. They are recognized as leading experts on sacred geometry technologies. And they do this and work with people. They've got tons of YouTube videos. They teach classes, but they use the sacred geometry for improving health, raising consciousness, reducing stress, manifesting intent, and clearing emotional and electromagnetic interference. They are fascinating. We're going to have them back on Enlightened World Network, where we can just take the time, not be under the constraints of, oh gosh, we only have half an hour, but really get to see what they do. But I recommend, if anybody is into sacred geometry, please check out their website and their YouTube videos. They work with the planetary grids. We've been doing that in our own work. Really fascinating. Their product is called Metaforms, so check that out.
Awesome. Then we had Joseph Labruto III.
Joseph Labruto, another dear friend of mine, and when he told me he was going to be doing his healing with the masters, I was thrilled because I have had that healing from him many times. It's amazing. It's so powerful. And we had a little glitch with the music, so he's used to having the music playing while he's doing that healing. So not having it there, he just plowed on through and he did it anyway. And it was really felt. And I saw a lot of the comments from people online that they were feeling that powerful energy. But he taps into the masters, the ascended masters, and he brings you into this state where you're relaxed. And then there's affirmations that you say. So with each master, there's an affirmation that they have shared with him that that's the affirmation to use. And you use it with each of the chakras. So when he brings in Master Yeshua, Jesus, or Kuan Yin, or whichever master it is that's coming through, you say whatever that mantra is that they have given, which could be, I am love, or I am healed. Whatever it is, he has you really focus on the chakra and say that 3 times into each chakra. And it's very powerful, very powerful. I felt it, and every time that he does it, and I've watched miracles happen when he does this healing, and I can attest to some things that he's done that I've received from the healing. That there were things that were immediately, the pain was gone. So I know how powerful Joseph is, and I was really honored that he showed up today and did this for us. And he's a blessing, and I hope we have him back because he really is powerful and amazing and compassionate. That's the thing that really stands out with him, is his compassionate heart.
It was a beautiful meditation that for me just kept getting stronger and stronger. I felt stronger and stronger inside as each affirmation was done. It was just really beautiful. And the words meant so much, and there really wasn't that many words.
Right.
It was, I am protected, I am healthy, I am at peace, I am healed, I am loved, I am that I am. And by the time he got to I am that I am, I was like, yes. It felt like Rocky.
Right.
Yes, it was a building of energy. It was beautiful. And next we have Susan Ellis Saylor.
Okay, hold on. I'm leaving a note for Ryan. We're talking about sacred geometry, Ryan, that Sharon Boyle wants you to check out with Gail and Greg Hogue. So, Susan Ellis Saylor was coming to us today from Austria. She is a divine person. She's so calm, so loving. She's a Reiki master who does tarot, and she works to help support spiritual entrepreneurs creating their business, which sounds an awful lot like what we do with Enlightened World. She, in particular, called in the archangels, including Archangel Ariel, to support transformation, because we know this is a day of transformation. And the reason she called in Archangel Ariel was because transformation requires courage. And I appreciated that, because we all have been transforming just because we need to. And I didn't really think about that fact, that it has actually required courage on our part. So I thought that was great. She also reminded us to breathe. I appreciated that too. I know so many light workers have been working so hard with this whole isolation and pandemic thing, working harder in ways that they never have before. And it is a good reminder for us to just take a breath now and then. She asked us to speak to our own divinities and to see where our boundaries flow right into the divine. And Deb, you and Teri, you guys talk about this all the time. Really just that blurring of where do I as a person end and the divinity start. She asked for us to be shown our missions, what is required of us to transform the world. She was great. I encourage anyone to watch that. And I had a really fun thing during her meditation. I saw this tree-like man. When I looked at his face, it looked weathered like a tree, with all of the little grooves. So I'm looking at this tree thing, and I said to Archangel Michael, I said, is this okay? And he says, yep. So I was trying to hear what this tree man was telling me, and I couldn't tell it at all, but I could feel it was just going directly a download right into my head. So I'm looking forward to learning more about what that download was about, but I do know it had to do with the energies of nature. And I got a little more information on that a little bit later, but it started in that meditation with Susan.
Yeah, it was a beautiful meditation. And what I really appreciated about Susan, well, first of all, she also helped us out on the silent meditation. She was there for us. But she talked a lot about being in the flow state. And she talked about being honest about how you feel. And that, by being honest about how you feel, starts to put you in a flow state. And then she asked, like, how does, when you connected to how you feel, how does it show up in you? Um, and so I thought that was really an important part that a lot of us have missed out on over the years, is allowing yourself to feel whatever it is that you're feeling, that there's nothing wrong with it. So I really appreciated that. And next, we had Dr. Lynetta Willis, who's just awesome. She did a meditation that she called Relationship Evolution Meditation. And it was really about a meditation with your own self, your inner child. She even said your baby self. And she had an acronym called HUSH, and it stands for Hear, Understand, See, and Help. And so Lynetta talked about how these parts of us, these aspects of ourselves, younger aspects, just kind of show up. And a lot of times we're not paying attention to them or ourselves, or we push them down rather than uh, being able to spend time with those parts of ourselves. And so she created a safe space within the meditation that you can actually meet these parts of yourself and start bringing compassion, all the HUSH acronym to it, that you hear, you understand, you see, and you help. That these parts of you are, how did she describe it? It's like parts of you that forgot it's divine. Little child selves or teenager selves that forgot that it's divine, and so that it has all of these fears and negative thinking or constructs that it believes in. So it was just beautiful. And she always comes up with some wonderful meditation. And what I found interesting is that one of the comments during her meditation was somebody really felt appreciative that it was grounded in, like, this is your life here that you're living, rather than it being so ethereal. It was more of, this is what you do when this happens. So somebody was very appreciative of that. And I think we forget that sometimes, that we're looking for something like, okay, what can I use right now? I know I can connect to the divine, but what else can I use that might be helpful too? So it was a great meditation. And next we had a beautiful prayer request session with Teri Angel.
Yes, we did. This was totally inspired by the angels for us to do this. It was a first for our day of transformation. So what we did in the morning is we asked people with each session, do you have a prayer request? Would you like to bring that to us so we can lift it up? And 14 beautiful people responded. They gave us their requests. Some were for loved ones that were ill. Some were for the planet. One was for a dog that is very helpful with the father and needed some healing. So there were many different types of requests. We had our own beautiful Camille de Somme put in the circle. And so what I did as I led that prayer, I thought of all these requests. I actually read them out loud before I went into that state where I just brought love into my heart and asked for everyone that was listening to do that as well, so that collectively we could bring these requests up to God. And we're not a religion here, but we are very spiritual. And so I call the creator God. You can call it whatever you want. It doesn't matter, because it's the same being. It's that same energy that created everything. So as we brought the requests, we brought them right to the Creator and asked for them to be looked at and for the best and highest good of each of those requests to be done. And then for us to feel that trust and that faith and to feel the white light of God as it covered each of us, and really honoring that we have compassion enough to do that, to think of other people and how we can serve in our beings, in our lifetimes, how we can serve others. And this is one way we can do that. We can be there for each other. So I really enjoyed doing this. I enjoyed this time that we just set aside and honor those that spent time with us today and then trusted us that we were listening, that we saw them and acknowledged them. So I thank you for providing this platform and being open to that idea of, yeah, let's do this.
Most definitely. It's always so powerful to lift people up with prayer. It really is. And I guess that's what this whole day is about. I mean, every session is lifting people up with prayer in each speaker's way of doing it. It is amazing. Such gifts. And then we had Belkis Clark Mitchum. Powerful.
I love Belkis. When what you see is what you get with Belkis. Boy, she was preaching today, and she preaches like no other. It was beautiful. Her session was titled "A Prayerful Approach to Crisis," and she reminded us that every morning she can choose whether she's going to stay in the panic. And she listed a whole bunch of things that she could be panicked about. And of course, right? But she said, nope, she gets up in the morning and almost before her feet hit the floor, she's turned on music and she's dancing. And she said that singing, dancing, and rejoicing changes her mindset. And that when her perspective shifts, she's able to create shifts in life and how she impacts other people with her life. So singing, dancing, and rejoicing. She reminded us that we can choose what we're going to bring into our own psyche, our own mind, our own thinking. How much of the day are we watching news versus how much of the day are we feeding our brains with something more fulfilling, maybe spiritually fulfilling. And she reminded us that in the midst of the turmoil, there is peace. She said, peace is a choice to connect to source. She reminded us to turn our eyes to the throne of God. And she reminded us, I loved her session. I almost couldn't get enough of her session. She reminded us that God chose exactly what we were going to look like, down to the freckles, the color of the hair, all of that, and how much he loves us. And she reminded us of that verse from the Bible, that if God knows the feathers on sparrows, she had mentioned that he knows how many heads, he counts the number of hairs on our heads, he loves us that much. So it was a beautiful example of someone not afraid to mention that they know and love God. And as a matter of fact, she not only was not ashamed of it, but she spoke very loudly and very excitedly about it. So appreciated her session very much.
Yeah, I did too. She's holy fire.
Mm-hmm.
Holy fire. She's amazing. Oh, goodness. Well, next we had Joan of Angels. And she did Awaken to Miracles. Oh my God. It was like divine poetry that just flowed through her for 20 minutes or so. It was so powerful and so beautiful. And starting with Archangel Michael, of that, you can't lose anything, you never lack, that you're always protected, and how the energy of love just keeps infusing it every cell within your brain and your body, that keeps unraveling, um, and uh, all the constructs, all the negativity, all the things that we have taken on that are not true, and reminding us that we are a seed of faith, that we need to keep watering this seed inside of us, that we need to keep feeding it, and so that we could keep lifting our vibration of love. And she talked about angel slippers, that they gave us angel slippers so that we can fly, so that we can really take off into, to spread our wings, which is exactly what we're talking about today, is spreading your wings, being your authentic self, bringing your gifts to the world. I mean, it was stepping into your uniqueness. I was like in awe from this meditation. It was so powerful. Um, she also described us as an undercover angel, and that we're trying to, uh, you know, come sing our song. We have to uncover the fact that we're really truly an angel. Uh, what I started, she said that, you know, we're a divine miracle, and I kept thinking that we were, what was the term came to me, like we're all miracle grow. That if we allow ourselves to be permeated and steeped in divine light and love, and believe it, um, we make everything grow, right? It's just, she said, the light has gone viral. That's what she talked about the virus is the light has gone viral. It was just spectacular. You have to listen to it. It was pure poetry.
It was, and I loved she gave us two gifts. We got the gift of Archangel Michael's sword and
Mhm.
a ring from God.
Yes, we did.
It's very cool.
Yes, that we all carry Michael's sword and the ring from God.
Absolutely.
So,
And I have had the pleasure of meeting Joan of Angels in person. And
mhm,
in fact, I spent the night in her house. I got the tour. I saw every painting that she has done. They're hanging all over her house, and they are amazing. And she's an amazing woman. I'm so
mhm.
glad she was with us today.
I am too. I am too. I told her we have to have you back. Oh. And so next we had the planetary silent healing.
The silent meditation for planetary healing was amazing. We had with us Lisa Jo Davis, Linda Lemieux, Laura Cheadle, and Sue Broom. And so I got to meet Laura Cheadle. I didn't get to experience her during her session, but just speaking with her, what an amazing woman she is. So we went into the silent meditation, and then at the end, before we came back out of it, I heard very clearly, ask everyone here that's doing the meditation for one word. And it was awesome because the word I heard was love, and so did Sue Broom, and I believe it was Laura that also heard love, and Linda, I think, heard compassion. So that's what we were hearing as we went through this. And Lisa Jo Davis actually heard Mother Mary, and she was in tears because it was so beautiful, and how strongly Mother Mary came through with compassion. So it was an absolutely amazing time together and putting out that beautiful energy for our planet. And as I meditated, I just saw the planet in peace. That was how I envisioned it. That's how I want to see it happen to be for us. And so I just kept that image, the whole meditation, just kept feeling into peace, love, and joy on our planet.
That's so beautiful, Teri. Thank you. And and it is so true. All we have to do is envision it
Mhm.
and believe it's already happened, and it will be. It sounds easy, and it is easy.
Us humans complicate it.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny. And then next we had the lovely Gerald Ann, Reverend Gerald Ann, who has been with us for each day of transformation. And she always brings such a beautiful talk on water. And her talk was called The Transformative Power of Water. And what I really loved is that she had pictures of water crystals and what shapes, how the structure of these water crystals take change based on whether positive words are speaking by an intention of having positivity or whether negative words are speaking, and the crystals look totally different. And she had one on this time about uh, one that a prayer, a Buddhist prayer, was said. And so there was a picture of what the water crystal looked like before the prayer and what it looked like after the prayer, and it looked nothing alike. It was really amazing. And she's already got me every time I go in the shower. I say Vav Mem Bet. She's got me saying that of really being so appreciative of water, and that there's the more that we heal ourselves, we heal the because we're mostly water, then we're healing the outside water. When we heal the outside water, we're healing the inside water. And um, and to really understand how your words and thoughts uplift, and by using the pictures of the crystals, understanding what you do day to day to yourself and everything outside of you. So and she always has a beautiful blessing that she says about the water and a prayer that is so relaxing, and it really makes you connect with water. And I love water, so it's really easy for me because I picture myself in the water when she does the meditation. So I am so grateful that she shares all that wisdom and all the wisdom that keeps growing out of it each time she comes on. And next, we had Stephen Altair.
Stephen Altair, I love him. And, you know, when we do these days, we kind of break up and divide who's doing what. I think I have had Stephen 3 out of the 4 times, maybe even 4 out of 4. I'm not sure, but it's always such a pleasure to connect with him. He really carries Yogananda energy in him. He just is that peaceful, beautiful soul that just lifts you just by him being there. And that's what he did today. He did a meditation of letting go into love and light. And he had us really focus on the breath. And he explained how like when an AC is running, you hear that sound, you hear that noise, but eventually you don't hear it anymore because it's a constant, it's always there. So he teaches us to let our soul hear, to let it hear and acknowledge how we can go into the stillness. If we're hearing something, then focus on the breath and always come back to the breath. And when you get to the point of the in breath and the out breath have that same energy and that same vibration, you've gone into the stillness and you're no longer paying attention to breathing in or breathing out. You're just there. You just be. And I loved that. And he said that's when time stands still, is when you can get into that moment of just being with yourself, being in the now. He said to follow the joy. Follow the joy. I loved that. And then the other thing he said that I really loved is surrender into grace. How many times do we think of surrender and we don't look at it as something that's really going to be what we need, what's best for us. We think of surrender as giving up something, right? Stopping the fight, stopping whatever it is that we're trying to achieve. We surrender to it. But this is surrender into grace, and to really be in that stillness, be in that place where nothing else matters, just being in God's love, being in that energy of who we are, and allowing. And that's what I got from his meditation and his message. And there was one point where I was asked, is he still meditating? Because he led us to that place of just such peace and joy. And it was almost like if he said something, it would break that. So I just thoroughly enjoyed being with Stephen. I love him. I love him tremendously. And ladies, help me because I can't remember where he's at.
He's in Tokyo.
Tokyo, thank you. I knew it wasn't here in the States. And it was that beautiful energy. And with the time difference, you didn't even feel it. There was like time and space. What's that? Because he brings you to that place of just collectively being together. So I love Stephen. I hope we keep inviting him back because I think we need his energy to bring us there, to bring us to that stillness in that now moment.
Absolutely. He's definitely part of Enlightened World. He's not going anywhere.
Good.
Yeah, he's wonderful. And last but not least, we have Carol Ann Cross and Anaya Joy Halili.
So these two beautiful women come to us from Australia. So we really were represented around the globe today. It was really beautiful. Carol and Anaya are such part of the family here at Enlightened World Network. It doesn't even seem possible that we could do an event without them being in the room. So it was just like having family with us. But we're talking about how there is a need more than ever for us to be connected to Mother Earth, and really how, with everything that's been going on, we have the ability now more than ever to take on more and more energy. Part of that energy is the energy of nature. And they were talking about dragon energy. Carol talked a little bit about unicorn energy. And then they also talked about fairy energy and how the fairies were even able to be seen on plastic plants, artificial plants, that it really was that the plastic plants were symbolizing nature. And the fairies even went to that. So what I loved about these two is their conversation about these things that many other people can't see and don't even believe in. It's just as if they were seeing this glass, right? And I really appreciated that. Talk about authenticity. These two women are so authentic and stand so strongly in their own fullness as a person that when they talk about things like unicorns, I go, okay. Even though I've not met a unicorn myself, but I want to, because they speak of it so calmly as if everybody sees them. So I loved my time with them. They did remind us to try to have a balance between your spiritual walk and your physical existence. So I always appreciate that. I loved their time with us today.
Mm-hmm. They are always so sweet. And they're both from Angel Heart Radio. Anaya is the founder of Angel Heart Radio, and Carol Ann is a podcast host, just as well as Teri is also. And we've initiated Ruth into that with us, part of the Angel Heart Radio family. So yes, they are amazing, the two of them. We've had a dragon meditation with them, in which I got to experience my dragon. So, which I was pretty skeptical going into it, and there it was. So you just never know how energy is going to show up, divine energy.
No, you don't. And one of the things that Anaya shared that I just have to say, that unconditional love is our birthright. And we're already amazing and we just don't know it. So for any of you listening that don't know that you're amazing, you're amazing. We all believe that to be true.
Yes, we do. Oh, so now it is time to do our ceremony of light. We have gone through the list of all of these amazing speakers, and what a joy to spend the day with them. And that what they put out today will continue to go out into the heavens, because people can listen to these replays anytime that they want, and it goes on forever. From what I understand, all of this energy of love will just keep embracing everyone forever. It never ceases.
Okay, if we're ready. I was just checking in and seeing what was happening over at the healing pool.
Okay. Well, I'm going to turn this over to you, Ruth, because you do this so beautifully. And this is your gift to everyone.
So this ceremony of light was given to me about 2 years ago by Archangel Michael and Divine Mother. And the other archangels and angels were there as well. But what they're asking that we do whenever Enlightened World Network does a major promotion or a major activity like we did today is that we follow it up with the ceremony of light. So if you would just close your eyes, we're just going to go into meditation. And what they have shown me over the years is a place in the ethereal realm that we call the healing pool. And we're going to go there, but let me just explain to you a little bit about what it is. The healing pool is this massive, bigger than we could ever understand, this massive space in the ethereal realm where healing takes place. Yes, it looks like an outside pool, not with concrete, but an outside natural pool. And Divine Mother and the archangels, Christ and the earth angels show there, and they provide healing. Now, some of the folks that go there are still in body, and other souls that go there have already been in a body and transitioned and passed. And we're going to go to this healing pool right now. And I see us, and there's many of us, and we're right at the edge of being able to go in to see this. So I'm going to ask Deb to play some music. And I want you to just walk into what you think would be the gates. Just with your eyes closed, use your imagination. Feel into if you are being shown anything, if you hear anything, see anything, smell anything. But just take a minute, just do a little deep breathing, just relax into being in this space where we're greeted by the divinity. And so Deb's going to play music for just a minute to help us just calm ourselves down just to being in this space. That is so divine. That music just sets the tone every time. So we all were able to show up at the gates to the healing pool because we've worked all day. We have cleared energy all day. We have surrounded ourselves in the love of the divine all day long. So here we came to the gates of the healing pool. And I watched as the gates were wide open and we were able to go in. And some of you went right in, you were met by an angel and went right into the pool. Now the pool, as I see it, is not very deep. It's about maybe knee deep. You can sit in it, you can kneel in it. And it's not actually wet. It's a healing energy that feels a little like a dry gel almost. And different times the energy feels different, but that's how it's feeling to me today. And some of you sort of stood back and watched, and others scampered around just knowing that you had come home. And there was such joy. Now we know that there are more angels there at the healing pool than there are souls coming in to experience it. So each of you has been met by an angel, and you may go anywhere at this healing pool that you want to be. We've seen one wall to this healing pool, and it's in the back, and it's like a red rock wall formation. It's got a trail that goes up to a waterfall. So if you want to check out the waterfall, please do. What was different for me today at the healing pool was how many elementals were there. And when we say elementals, I mean nature's energies. And those energies show up as what some folks might call fairies or water divas or wood nymphs. They might show up as dragons. Some folks might see it as unicorns. Some folks might see them as just little tiny lights that dance around. And as I'm watching around the pool right now, I see so much nature energy that's visible. And it's very joyful energy. And I see some of you standing in the pool with the angel that's with you, helping to put the liquid over your shoulders, over your head, some of you. And you're just basking, almost seeping in the energy. That would be steeping in the energy. I see the archangels. This was very cool. Someone who's listening just walked up to Christ and shook his hand. I see Divine Mother. She's got her hand on the shoulders of one of you. There is so much love and joy. There's also clearing and healing. There's grief being released. Really, every aspect of being human. Illness is being healed. Grief is being loved so it can be released. Fear is being assuaged. Joy is being met with joy. Love is being met with love. I'm watching as angels are twirling with banners, streamers, but it's streamers of light. It's actually beautiful. It's joyous. And what Archangel Michael has asked when we do these celebrations of light, ceremonies of light, is to gather you all who are there at the healing pool into a circle. So see yourself getting into this circle, and behind us is a circle of angels, and the archangels are behind them. And what Archangel Michael has asked is that anybody who wants to be acknowledged by the spiritual divinity and to have their name written in the book of life as someone who reveres divine light, honors the Creator, and wants to bring that divine light onto the earthly plane, to say their name out loud. And when they do that, the angel behind you will take your name and fly it up to where the book of life is held and make sure that your name is written in the book of life. And what happens then is when you go into prayerful meditation after that, you are acknowledged as someone who has come forward and said that you love the Creator and love the divine light. So at this moment, if you are feeling called to say your name out loud, to be acknowledged in the book of life, please do so. Thank you. And I see Divine Mother walking, and to each one who has said their name out loud, she's handing a gold flower. There's no stem, it's just a flower. And Archangel Michael is following. And everyone who said their name out loud, he's handing a lit candle. And as they work their way around the circle, I'm being reminded that some of the souls here in the circle have been in body and have passed on. But they are showing their reverence to the Creator as well. So they're included in this activity. They're receiving a flower, they're receiving a candle. So now, if you've said your name out loud, hold your candle high. And let's watch as the light from the circle emanates around us and upward to the heavens. And we see that the light from the circle is much greater than the sum of just the light from the candles. But by bringing our energy together, it illuminates so much stronger than if we were just 1 + 1 + 1. We see that the angels that are still behind us are holding lights as well, candles as well. The light that is emanating from this group just burns so strong. It has an energy in itself. And as we see that this energy from all of the candles is moving up to the heavens, It's being met by loving, divine, white light energy that's coming down from the heavens. And that light, that energy, that divine love is coming down tenfold, 100-fold to what was sent up. We are so loved by the Creator. And we're reminded that when all of the 3D earthly matter disappears, we really are nothing more than love. We are divine love in its purest form. See yourself in spirit form, in the form of divine love right now. If you said your name out loud, your book has been written in the book of life. You will be acknowledged and remembered when you come back into prayerful meditation. You may come back to this healing pool anytime you choose. It is always available to you. The archangels are always there for you. Divine Mother, Christ, the Creator are always there for you. And I'm just looking across the pool and I'm seeing the different nature energies rejoicing. There's a whole lot of dancing going on right now. Dancing and rejoicing. For that's what love does. Love rejoices. So thank you for joining us for this celebration of life at the healing pool. And Archangel Michael gave me a blessing to share whenever we do the celebration of life, the ceremony of life. It's called the blessing. May it be with the blessings of God, the universe, Divine Mother, Archangel Michael, Archangel Gabriel, and Archangel Raphael, that you, beloved of God, is anointed with love, light, and blessings to step further into your role of sacred being. This blessing is bestowed upon you such that you and all souls will be transformed through love and light. May every action taken and every word be said for the highest good of your growth, divine purpose, and for all involved. May you always seek guidance and counsel when you are unsure of your way. In love and light, amen. And so it is.
And so it is. How beautiful, Ruth. It's always so beautiful, the ceremony of light. And it keeps morphing, doesn't it? It keeps changing.
I never know what I'm going to see when I go in there. I just try to tell you what I'm seeing. And yes, every time it's different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's beautiful. Well, I am, excuse me, very grateful for the both of you and all the things that we do together. And it is an honor to do these things with both of you. Excuse me. I don't know where all that came from.
Well, Deb, it is my honor to walk beside the two of you. Truly, it is a divine, sacred honor to be living life with you two. So thank you.
And I feel the same.
It is a divine collaboration. Very grateful. So, tomorrow on Enlightened World Network, we will return with a meditation a day and our regular programming. And there will be a post on the Facebook pages of what is available for the day. But please enjoy all of the sessions that you had today over and over again. Share them with your friends because they were all an act of love and service from everyone that participated.
And Deb, we still have another show tonight.
Oh, yes. Thank you for reminding me. It's only been a little over 12 hours that we've been going totally. So please, Teri, share that with people.
We have a new show. Tonight will be the third night of 10 shows that Robert Painley will be bringing to us. And it's called Robert's Haunted Pajama Party, where he shares stories of the paranormal. He is a medium. He goes in and does house clearings, and he has a lot of experience with energy of different forms. So after he shares the story, then he gives us a little teaching about how we can handle this situation if it were to happen to us, or any situation where we're not sure what the energy is that we're encountering, and how we can protect ourselves and how we can feel into the energy. So he's really been wonderful. He's relaxed. He's in his pajamas and just ready to lay back and share with us. So we're very fortunate to have Robert Painley with us. He's a very well-known medium in South Florida, and he's enjoying being with us here at Enlightened World. So we're grateful that he is here.
Thank you, Teri.
10 o'clock Eastern Time tonight.
Yep.
So in less than an hour.
Yeah. So tune into that. And I believe there was a show tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern with Marsha Martin on Angel Heart Radio. So maybe you can catch up with that. Anything else before we leave?
Moses said in our very first day of transformation, "Aren't we beautiful?" And I think of you all, and I think of everyone who joined us, everyone who's sitting with us here on Facebook right now. And aren't we beautiful? Everyone is just bringing their divine light to the world right now. Couldn't be more beautiful than that. Thank you for all that everybody's doing.
Absolutely. And can we give some gratitude to Reverend Gerald Ann Peterson Heatherdale, who helped us out with this presentation of our celebration tonight.
Yes, most definitely. And she always does a beautiful job, and it is so helpful to us that Gerald Ann does that. So thank you. Thank you for all that you do.
And shout out to Sue Seekoff and Dido Clark, our tech support people here on our end. Yep.
Yes, it takes a community to make happen what we put out. And God bless all of us. So when in doubt, never underestimate the power of prayer. You are being listened to and heard throughout the universe, and it always responds with infinite and eternal love. Remember to go inside and listen to the whispers of heaven. We love you, and God bless you.
You've been listening to another fabulous program on Angel Heart Radio. Our goal is to remind you of how much you matter in the world, and to let you know that we appreciate who you are in the world. You can check out who's on, when we're on, and who our guests are at angelheartradio.com. Everything is there. It's all just one click away. Angel Heart Radio programs are powerful tools to help you in your life and your life experience. They are not intended, nor should they, be used to replace your medical or legal advice.
Powered by love, Angel Heart Radio is brought to you by AngelLight777.com.
The views and opinions expressed by Angel Heart Radio hosts, guests, co-hosts and associates should not be construed as advice from Angel Heart Radio.